You got schooled with Penny and Martin, the real and raw about today's education.
Listener discretion advised, not for the faint of heart.
Nor the easily offended.
This is episode 3 with You Got Schooled. I'm Martin.
I'm Penny.
And we are going to be discussing snow days equal slow days.
Slow days. Schmo days.
Are we going to have to redo this probably?
No,
okay, we're good.
Go.
So we're extremely slap happy. Over the course of, we are going on, what is today? The 27th? 29th.
It's the 24th.
Is it the 20? No, it's not.
Yes,
is it the 24th?
Yes.
Crap. Okay. So, this is what we're talking about. Snow days equal slow days. We have been in school with not student contact days, but teacher days, 9 days. Out of those 9 days, is it 8 days that we've had?
I think that we have had
student contact days. So our schedules are all sorts of.
We have not had one full week of school yet.
Yeah.
Not one full week. And it is so apparent. I don't know who is in my classes. I have not gotten used to that yet. I have students that are still trying to get on Google Classroom with classes from last semester. It's been a mess.
So it's definitely going off the rails of a crazy train
Yes.
at this point. So we are just going to talk about the effects that these snow days have on our day in and day out within education.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I like snow days.
I love snow days.
Especially when my kids are in a different school district and they still have school.
Because you get time to yourself.
I get time to myself, which I only get when I'm using the restroom. And I still don't get time to myself because their little fingers go underneath the door. And I have to like pick up my legs and sit on the toilet just to get about 5 minutes of peace and quiet. I even turn out the lights. Sit there in the dark.
Oh, my word.
Okay, so what's the top thing on our list so far? Are we just going to work down?
I think we have a real top thing. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that today I felt as heated as I felt at the beginning of the week's first semester.
In what sense?
I think it was mostly behavior.
Mm.
Now, don't get me wrong. And also, for any students that are listening, if you get offended easily, this is the time for you to turn this off.
Move along.
Go do your homework.
Yes.
Okay? I mean,
this is too hard.
Anyway.
How do I do this?
I think it's because we are not in any kind of rhythm. We are not in any kind of routine. With the way that the weather has been, you never know if you're coming to school or not. Now, hopefully, because I'm here to tell you, I have looked at the Long Ranger into February.
Are you planning?
I'm planning. And it looks really good.
Okay.
Like, it's like 40s and 50s, like atypical Kansas weather for February.
Gotcha.
Now, that does not mean that we're not going to get a freak blizzard in March or the beginning of April, because that's Kansas. But because we haven't been able to get into those routines, it is very evident with the behavior in the class. Because for anybody that I don't know how any other schools grades are, like junior high, elementary, anything like that. But with the way that credits are worked in high school, your schedule as a student and as a teacher, excuse me, is not the same second semester as it is the first semester. So you're just getting acclimated as a teacher into the groove of this is how fourth period works. This is how seventh period works. This is how sixth period works. And then bam, whammo, Christmas vacation comes and you are land blasted and thrown into second semester
with a whole new dynamic makeup.
A whole new dynamic of your classes. It's the same students, but it's a different amalgamation.
Ooh.
You like
should
that?
Should that be a vocab word?
It should be a vocab word. Okay. Amalgamation. 5 extra credit points in English to the first student that walks into 125 tomorrow or up until Friday and tells me what amalgamation is. There you go. What was I saying? Oh, but it's a different amalgamation of personalities.
Yes.
I am immediately thinking of one student whose name shall remain anonymous.
Anonymous.
Who I am thinking to myself, this is a completely different kid this semester than first semester because they are surrounded by different students.
Mm-hmm.
And so
personalities clash, showboating.
Showboating is what I am seeing at this. Yeah. I'm like, that was not you first semester.
Right.
So it's difficult. It is difficult. And it's difficult for us as teachers to start getting into the groove of things when we've only been here for 9 days.
Yeah.
And January is over next week.
I know.
So how about them apples?
I know today, my first period of the day has always been my hard day. And it's not that it's hard. It's just early in the morning. I'm trying to get my cup of coffee. I didn't get my cup of coffee until my plan period. It was just that much drag time today.
Well, it's probably because your back room smelled so bad you didn't want to go back
That's true, too. Yeah. Methane and all sorts of stinkiness in the morning kind of makes you lose your appetite.
Not by you. You didn't put forth the methane.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Okay. It was the lovely lines that I guess run through the room. But I have, again, new dynamics in that class, finally getting used to them for first semester. And then I have one student that I adore beyond belief, just bouncing off the walls and try and talk. And it just, I could tell he was off. And a lot of it is when their routines are messed up with not just Christmas break, but now the snow days. They're trying to get into a groove, just like we're trying to get into a groove, and we just weren't grooving today.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that individual is doing a little bit better. But it was off. They were off. I was definitely off. And it's not just the students. Like, I'm finding myself, I'm usually a very motivated individual. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't even know where to begin. And maybe it's overwhelmness.
I don't know if it's being overwhelmed. I don't know that I think I might be a little bit overwhelmed. I'm usually really good at just flying off the cuff and just like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Right.
And pulling it out of my nose and having it work. But now, as we were talking about before we just hit play, we are forced now as teachers to decide.
Mm-hmm.
We have missed a lot of school now, right? What, 6 days? Have we missed 6? 5 days?
I didn't even know what day it was.
Well, that's true. I shouldn't even be asking you. But now, when I look at my plans, I am thinking, we are just now starting this. And we should already be done and starting a PBL, a project-based learning assignment, or getting ready for some kind of assessment on this. And we're smack dab just in the middle of the unit.
Right.
So now we're having to come to the realization in making the decision of what do we drop?
Mm-hmm.
If what we're going to drop is that important, if we decide that we're not going to drop anything as far as that unit is concerned with,
are we going to have enough time in the next unit? Are we going to have
enough time to get the next unit done? Are we just now going to scoot everything back and come May, whatever, what we don't get done, what we just don't get done?
How's it going to affect the next semester for them when they move up? How's it going to
affect state assessment tests? Yes. How is it going to affect their fast bridge assessment? How is it going to... There's just all kinds of decisions now that need to be made as far as the teacher paradigm goes. So I'm a little overwhelmed with that. But I'm stinking exhausted.
Yeah.
I am exhausted. So, yeah.
I know I have a really, really great connection with my advisory kids. And, you know, that's where a lot of our social and emotional learning comes from. And I know I called it mumbo jumbo last time. I'm not talking about social and emotional learning being mumbo jumbo. Right. I'm talking about trying to put it into a lesson plan as if I'm supposed to be teaching relationships. I feel like we do a great job at building relationships, and it's not really something that you can teach.
Right.
And so...
And they know when you're faking something.
Oh, yeah. And they will call you out like no other.
Yes, they will.
But with my advisory kids, like, I get emotional when I don't get to see them every day, you know, because you go Monday through Friday. It's the only class that is consistent. And it's, you know, we were supposed to have conferences yesterday and today. So trying to prepare for that. We're going to be gone part of it for Monday. I mean, it's back to back. And so I feel like when I don't have those daily connections with my advisee kids, they're like my children.
Sure.
And so I don't know if like I'm missing my kids, or I worry about, hey, like, how was your snow day? Did something happen over your snow day that I need to know about? And it's just, I don't know. Now it's the emotion wrapped up into it too.
Because we do. We get emotional about things.
Absolutely.
It's not just our students.
No, it's definitely. Sometimes we can hide it a little bit better, or I just stone cold face sometimes.
Yeah.
But what else do we have any that we were wanting to?
Well, one thing that I wanted to say real quick while we're talking about behaviors, we had a couple of, are they FFA? Is that what they did today? So FFA was gone today for a field trip where they did some presentations and things like that. So we had a lot of students that missed class.
Yes.
Which missed class, but it was for school-related things.
Well, lots of activities over the last 8 days
have gone to the wayside.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for a lot of students, those activities are the things that keep them coming to school.
Exactly.
So that's a very, very important thing. But we had 2 freshmen come in just a little bit ago and ask what they had missed for today. And I was thinking, as we were kind of going over things that we maybe wanted to talk about today, I want to say something about this freshman class. Because out of all of the classes that I have had, they have been the most responsible as far as if they are going to miss most of the time, most of them, of course, not 100%, but they have probably been the top tier of the classes that have been responsible enough to stop before they go to that activity to find out what they're going to miss that day.
Or directly after.
Yeah, or directly after, or they will shoot me an email.
emails.
Yeah.
Like this class, they may not be written well or typed well, but I will say I receive emails.
Yeah.
Very consistently from
about
this
what they're going to
freshman
miss.
class. Yes.
And so I just wanted to let them know, for any freshman who is listening, continue doing that. It shows a great deal of responsibility. It shows a great deal of advocacy for your own grade, and it shows a great deal of self-respect as well, I think. So
very true.
yeah. So we're just, there's the, I don't know if the students are tired or not. I know that I am tired already. Sometimes I think staying home makes me more tired than coming to school.
Oh, you get out of your routine.
You do. And we haven't had a chance to actually get in a routine yet. So
Maybe next week. Maybe we'll have a
hoping
full week.
for
Well, we
next
won't.
week. Why don't we have a full week?
Because we're gone Monday morning.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, for a little ditty. So.
Ditty? A ditty?
A little
ditty. Little ditty.
A little ditty.
To the little one.
Like Jack and Diane. Oh, sorry.
Suck on chili dog?
Yep.
Okay.
Outside the Tasty Freeze.
Are you trying to find a button? A slap? A knee slapper.
It is. That was a knee slapper. So this, I don't know, this might be a short podcast today. But I think the main thing is I think I even told you we're doing a podcast today. The behavior is driving me crazy.
The behavior is
I need to
driving
talk
me
about
crazy.
it.
Yes. And not that we don't love you guys.
No.
And it's our behavior too.
Yeah. Maybe yours.
It's always mine. Always.
But yeah. So, oh, hey. Before we leave, we want to thank everybody who have made really great comments.
Absolutely.
I had one student who shall remain anonymous.
Oh, I was going to say
You were going to
nameless.
say nameless.
That's
weren't you?
okay though.
Anonymous. And he said something about, he wrote a few sentences, and he said, which one of those sentences do you think that I actually wrote, Flem, and didn't have AI right? Which is going to be the subject of our next podcast.
AI.
It's the devil.
Unless we use it, and then it's okay.
So anyway, we wanted to shout out and just say thank you to the people that have made really great comments, to students that have emailed us about it, to students that have just come into our classrooms and talked to us and are enjoying it.
Gave us tips like sitting closer to the microphone. So I am literally mouth breathing onto the microphone. One of these days we'll do like a video podcast, and you could probably see this.
Yeah.
My nose is about touching it.
Well, we just need to get another microphone.
I know. We'll get it. Maybe we'll get sponsors.
Oh, there you go. My kiddo asked me the other day, have you gotten any money for this thing yet, Mom? I'm like, no, we are not monetized yet.
Do you think your husband's company that he works for would?
Probably not.
No. Okay.
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not. It's okay.
All right. So anyway, thank you. Shout out to all of y'all.
Yes.
We appreciate it. I want to name names, and we even started a list, but we didn't want to leave anybody out.
Well, and I'm also worried about.
Martin's worried about sharing your name.
Yeah.
It's not like your first and last name.
Well, I think it'd be different if they were over the age of 18.
Okay. We'll just keep it on the down low. You know who you are.
And if you don't,
just come and ask. We'll tell you.
Yeah.
You know us. We're not going to pull any punches with you. Not at all.
we're learning our sound effect buttons. Those aren't our sound effects.
No.
Yet. Well,
That
that one was fun. Okay. Well.
See, we're slap happy. We just need to get off of here.
We do. Okay.
All right.
Final bell?
Final bell. You guys got schooled. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.